show. The art of savoring, discovering how to fully indulge in the present moment, savoring every experience, every morsel, and every breath, unlocking the deeper appreciation for the beauty of life and the Mediterranean lifestyle.
Oh, live your life. Get inspired and cherish moments with food, travel, cooking, the Mediterranean way.
Ciao ragazzi, how are you? Anita, vieni qua.
I'm coming.
Oh, mamma mia.
I can't wait for the day that we'll be actually in the show where we have a full production room. But you know what is good? Because this way we get to go live. We get to see what you guys are wanting.
Yes.
We're getting to feel the audience and know how to share the Mediterranean lifestyle. Because to us, it's so important. It really is. And for people to understand what the Mediterranean lifestyle is. So today we're going to talk about food. Everyone loves food, especially in this group. Love to hear in the comments below what kind of recipes and food you're looking for. Dario is going to talk about the different things that you can swap out and you can switch. Of course, we've got recipes online, so go and check it out. It's not a
diet.
It's not a diet.
No diet. It's let's get that out of our mind. It's funny because this week I kept hearing people say, "Oh my God, I'm really afraid. I'm gonna overeat and then I'm gonna have to go on a diet." No, don't overeat. How's that?
So we're going to talk about
moderate.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that today, and we're also going to talk about travel. And it's a theory that's been around for a long time that I've been doing, but it goes to the line that I love to say, and I'm saying it in my business, and I'm saying it here. I am saying it everywhere I can. It's only knowledge until it gets into your bones.
That's very true.
And that is so profound and so powerful and how it affects to travel. So I'm just going to look briefly on here to see if we are live. It says we're live.
Yes, we are.
But you know what? I got to make sure. I don't think we probably worn a collar shirt, but you're always much more dressed.
No, I'm not. You're much dressed. You're much better dressed.
Anyway, I hope everyone's having a wonderful Sunday. Every Sunday we'll be here at 10 o'clock. There is going to be one Sunday we won't be here, and that's going to be the 24th of December. We've got lots of great things going on. We've got a program that's coming out in the new year, so watch out for that because that's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
That's going to be exciting. And we've got lots of events. We've got lots of programs for next year, so you're going to want to stay in and follow for those if the Mediterranean lifestyle around health, happiness, and inspired living is for you.
I will do some beautiful fundraisers actually when we are away.
Yeah, we're doing a great fundraiser. I think we talked about the first time the pizza making in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Phenomenal group. Just Pizza on the Beach, I think it is. Pizza. I'll put the link in the group below. I know we've shared it in different places, and so has Kelly. But these guys went to Tuscany with us.
They were part of our retreats, yeah.
And they ended up, they've always been big-time foodies and love to cook.
Yeah.
And he's always been mastering his pizza. But of course, they came with us to Italy. They came on a one-day adventure that we did with this pizza in the Epicard?
In the Epicard, yeah.
Epicard.
Yeah. It's a little tree. It's like this little motorcycle / little truck.
Yeah.
And
does it have one wheel on the front?
One wheel on the front, two in the back.
Yeah. Okay. And so we had this experience where we actually got the grain for the area. So I think I've mentioned this before, but in Italy, they have 300 and something different types of grains you can use. Yeah. And in North America, they say there's only 3. Yeah. So it's really exciting to work with pizza. And then they would pick stuff from the actual garden and the farm. Or actually the store that they did. And it was actually the farm. It was a farm, and then he had a farmer's market in the actual place.
There's so many incredible things when you get down there. And the person who founded this, it's a good friend of ours, Fabio.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's a process called pane, which is fantastic.
So anyway, Dan and Julie and the group there have created this vision to help people in Jacksonville. So in January, we are going to be there So if you happen to be in Jacksonville or in Florida, come on over and support this cause. It's really phenomenal, and he makes incredible pizzas. I think you're going to be involved in making some pizzas too.
Well, that's the idea. That's the idea. We are going to do this thing together, and we want to enjoy it together.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. Looking forward that. I think that's going to be the
27th, I think.
27th. If that's a Saturday, that's going to be.
We got a lot of crazy, because after that, we are flying for a second year
to the Bahamas.
To the Bahamas to do another event, which is called Devour at the Beach, the Food and Film Festival, which is exciting. Which is another exciting thing. It's called Chef in Shorts.
Yeah, it's fun because I really don't have as much involved in this.
Well,
it's all around the chefs, but I get to eat and drink, and it's a lot of fun. And they have activities all the time. Every day and night there's something that goes on. So that's also an opportunity to come if you're wanting to come to Bahamas. I think it's the 1st to the 4th.
It's from the 1st of February to the 4th of February. It is a phenomenal event.
A lot of fun.
Michael Howell and Lee Rinaldo, they are the co-founder of Devour, the Food and Film Festival. It's a great event. Honest to God, we were fortunate enough to be called back again this year. So it's a lot of great things.
So the people, they fly into Marsh Harbor, which is an island in the Bahamas. Well, it's the actual name of the town. I think it's one of the Abacus Islands.
That's right. Correct.
And then you take a boat to Green Turtle Key. It's really neat.
Super.
And it's just exclusive. It's remote. If you love food, if you love different things, if you're looking at getting some sunshine, it's the place to be in. It's a lot of fun. So reach out to us if you want, and we'll share the link somewhere down below or whatever about the Devour. I know we've done some sharing, but things get lost. Social media, there's so much things going out there, it get lost. So
social confusion.
Social confusion. Yeah. Yes. So anyway, we're going to talk about travel today, and we're going to talk about the Mediterranean lifestyle and how people hear it and they just think it's just some knowledge, but until it gets into your bones, until you actually feel the difference, it's difficult to really understand. Everyone that comes on our retreats, usually Tuscany is our first retreat that we do, and we're going to be expanding to other Mediterranean countries and destinations.
Right.
But an example is Tuscany is normally where people start to come to our retreats, and once they've been on the retreat, our next retreat's already booked. They've already booked the next one because they have started to feel what the Mediterranean lifestyle is in their bones. They get to understand the change in their life and their transformations that's happened when you start to feel what it's like the Mediterranean way. It's so different for us to say, oh, if you do this, this will change. And our different principles. We talk about, being grateful. A million people talk about being grateful. But what is that? How do you feel it in your bones, and how do you live it every day? We talk about living on purpose. How do you feel it in your bones, and how do you live it every day? Being active naturally. Like, we go places and we think first to take the stairs than we would taking an elevator.
That's right.
It's programmed in our mind. And, that's where I guess with my business, I talk about that auto success mindset and that transition to automatically think differently and do differently. And when we talk about the Mediterranean lifestyle, we talk about doing it from everywhere. Like, we have people, they're standing in snow up to here, and they're saying, we live the Mediterranean lifestyle, blah. It doesn't have to be in the Mediterranean. For an example, today, I think every day for the last week where we live and where we are right now, it has been gloomy. There has been no sunshine, which our bodies need and crave. How do you transition that to get that feeling of the Mediterranean lifestyle that it incorporates into your day every day? We have the example that we're going to the U.S. And we're going to Florida, and we're going to be spending there till March. So we're going to have some more sunshine moving forward. But how do you do that in your everyday? And we're not always traveling. We were for 2 years. Now we're back home. And how do you keep up to those values of living the Mediterranean lifestyle and why that's so important? And how do you get that auto success mindset to know that? So we keep running this hamster wheel, as Dario always says, what's that, running chicken, and then you
running like a chicken with the head cut off.
And then you put it in the oven, and then
and you just confused. I mean, you know what? you in this time of the year specifically.
Yeah.
We were talking last night. We were sitting down after dinner. We were talking about the purpose of Christmas.
Yeah.
And we have to be very, very careful. And we have to think. Christmas is about moments. I think I said it a few weeks ago. My favorite time of Christmas is from the 1st to the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
The lights, the music, the people, the excitements, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All the commercial stuff, I could care less. Honestly, I could not care less.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's what increased the pressure, I think. But if we allow ourselves to kind of enjoy the moment of Christmas, that brings me back to my members. It was not about, the gifts were there, but it was not the priority. It was the excitement of seeing people. So I think it's all here. Whatever you are, whatever you do, and whatever you create, that's exactly what Anita said. Until it sticks into your bones.
Yeah, until you feel it in your bones. And that's the important part, that in that moment, you're like, no, I'm going to go out for a walk.
That's right.
I'm not going to sit down. No, I'm not going to watch TV. I'm going to get everyone together and we're going to play a board game.
That's right.
No, I'm going to learn something different. No, I'm going to relax. And, a prime example as well is this show. There's so many shows out there that are like the 1 second. Zip, 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 because people have gone to wanting to expect that. And we collectively had said, we're not going to do that. We might have a little snippet here and there of our show out there, but it's not going to affect who you are and what you are in your heart and what you want to create, because it's knowledge. It's a quick knowledge, like a quick cooking tip that really some of the stuff, it's just getting followers in there, but it doesn't actually teach you anything. It doesn't teach you proper techniques in cooking, lifestyle changes, and that's what we together talk about. Dario's more of the foodie part, and I'm more of the lifestyle mindset part. But until you feel it in your bones, that's so important, and how that's going to resonate. And that's what this show is all about, is giving you those tips, giving you that mindset so that you can watch it once a week, put principles in place. And our program that's coming out in January is going to help you with that, to keep that consistency and to keep those habits, that it just becomes part of life. When you go to Italy, it's part of their life. It's not part of, I gotta do this today. Oh, I gotta do that today. It's just how they live.
Right.
And so many people I know that have been away to Italy, they come back, they're like, I get it now. I get it.
And it's not just there.
And it's not just also the bucket of rocks to see. So you go and you see the Colosseum, and you go see the Vatican, and then you have to experience it to really feel it in your bones.
You have to feel it. You have to feel
and years ago, I'm sorry for you.
No, but it's true. But it is what you're saying. I mean, Anita's 100% right. Our mind told, what am I going to Spain? Well, I need to go to Barcelona, La Placa, and then this and this.
Yeah.
Not really. One of our memorable time last year was actually in Malaga. Now, you want to feel Christmas?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. It was the most incredible feeling. And it was just the moment. The greatest thing was people, family with their kids. Yeah. Every night they would get together, because at 7:00 there was the light show. And everybody were part of our community. So that community would get together. They would get some tapas. They would get a drink. They would get a hot chocolate. The weather was still warm, because we're looking at still on 15 degrees. Okay, it was still pretty, but it was the community of get together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
you can feel the energy of it.
You do.
You can feel the energy of it. You're engrossed in it. You feel it.
Yeah.
The lights, the people, the laughter, the enjoyment, the slowing down and just looking around you and smell the scents and feel. I mean,
Yeah.
we're forgetting to do that, and we just run around like crazy. And it gets to be so busy,
Yeah.
and it's slowing down. And that's what the Mediterranean lifestyle is, and all the programs that we're rolling out for next year, and what we're doing with this show is so important. So we hope that you put something in the comments to get engagement, because that's all a community. And now we want to share some of the food tips, Dario. So, of course, it's not a diet.
No. No. And I honest to God, and I often say it. Think about this. I was blessed to have my grandmother as a really phenomenal inspiration to me.
She raised you.
She raised me.
She raised you.
But she was also an incredible cook. But when I'm talking about cooking, you're cooking from the soul, right? And how you balance yourself on what you're eating. And I think, unfortunately, we live a fast life, and we have a hard time. Anita said it, that's hamster wheel, right?
Mhm.
Oh my God, when am I gonna stop? So what your substitutions? Okay, so meat. Well, sure, you can have meats, okay, but the Mediterranean lifestyle will show you the options or what you can substitute. Fish would be a perfect substitution, okay? So it's much easier to cook, much quicker to cook, and gives you an opportunity to have all those important vitamin, important healthy, clean protein into your system.
And healthy fats as well.
And healthy fats,
Yeah.
exactly. So now, when we talk about fish, are we talking about salmon? Yeah, it could be salmon, but it could be halibut. Could be any white fish, cod. It's a great fish, for example, to use. Very simple to cook. And it could be almost a one-pot meal. Okay? What's that?
I want to ask a question. I'm
Oh,
putting,
she's
I'm
asking a
putting my
question.
hands up.
What's wrong with you?
If people don't like fish, what is the best fish for them to use? I mean, I've always been taught to soak fish in milk. I don't know. Is that true? Does that work?
Well, you could, I guess, if you. I mean, salmon is. I would say it's a fattier fish, okay, and it's something that has a lot of omega
Mhm.
3 in it.
But if they don't like the fishy taste, is there one?
Well,
that's
salmon is not necessarily a very fishy per
Okay.
se. Okay,
like
now,
a sardine or something.
like a sardine,
Yeah.
which they call them the bluefish. Sardines and anchovies. They call it the pesci azzurri. Okay, the bluefish. So now on a little more potent, mind you, they're extremely good for you. Okay, so they are a good balance. Salmon will be perfect.
Is the milk a true story or no?
Well, I think the milk you'd use it on a fish that is very strong or dry. For example, if you do a salt cod.
I used to just soak it in the milk and let it sit there for like an hour.
Well,
so.
you can, but
And then I would cook it how I wanted to cook it. So I never actually used the milk. The milk was just going to be something to.
Yeah, it's a here and there story. I mean, to me, it's something that remember one thing, and this is a problem. Make sure you get familiar with your product.
Mhm.
Okay, go to a fishmonger, understand what is fresh,
Yeah.
and use it. So meat, just have some fish. So let's talk about grain, for example.
So fish more often.
Fish more often. Nuts. Okay. For example, you can use legumes. Okay. We always use, because it's quicker, and we do it ourselves. Okay. Pasta. We make a pasta, we make a rice, we do it because it's quick. But the best way to do it is to start using legumes. And what is legumes? Legumes are lentils, bean, chickpea, mung beans, very, 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 very healthy for you, barley. And this one are greens, and they can replace.
Black beans too, right?
Black beans are fantastic.
Very, very.
Pinto beans.
Yeah.
Quinoa.
Yeah.
Couscous. Stuff that you can actually replace it. So now let's look back. For example, you're looking, for example, a piece of salmon, and you can serve it with a beautiful barley salad or an orzo salad. So think about you now, a busy person at work, because we love to say it. So that barley salad can be made ahead, set up. Now it builds flavor. And when you come home, what do you have to do? Just make the salmon. That's it. Now you have a healthy, balanced meal. Okay. Let's talk about condiments. So we are in an era then, they say butter is better. Yeah, well, butter is good. Don't get me wrong, but make sure you get good fresh butter. Okay. We use butter very, very only in baking, really, if we have to, and even sometimes in baking. But we use a lot of olive oil. Good quality olive oil. And people say, oh, it's very expensive. Yeah. How much is the gas in your car? Expensive. Yeah, but it just drives the car. You got to drive your body. Olive oil is the pure element, condiments for anything you do. You think about a piece of fish, for example. So we're going now in order. So now we talk about a salmon, we talk about a grain, and now we're talking simply. Okay. And then instead of finishing with these heavy, saucy, creamy sauces, you don't need to, because now you bought a beautiful piece of fish, perfectly seasoned, okay, with a good condiment that is not heavy, but is a green. And now you finish it with some good quality olive oil. The nuttiness, the aroma, the fruitiness of that olive oil just compounds the whole thing.
I find that that's a big thing that I learned in cooking before we got together. Is I never thought of a finishing. I never thought of olive oil. And when you make a pasta or you make a quinoa, you always finish with olive oil. Yeah. And it's just such a special touch. It makes everything a lot more moist. It's much healthier than any of the condiments that you would do, like a barbecue sauce. The flavor is phenomenal. And yeah. I think it's a different concept than a lot of people out there would think about. Yeah. But here you're adding a good fat to your body. 100%. And as you know, the Mediterranean lifestyle, balanced eating, is not about taking away. It's about adding things.
Adding to it.
And so you add more fish. You add more beans. We have recipes online. You add herbs as opposed to lots of salts and no chemicals and using nuts and those kind of things. So you add to your diet as opposed to taking away.
Well, and that's the other thing, salts, like you just said it. So let's think about this for a second. We have the habit of adding salts. I have Anita, for example, one of our kids. And he always puts salt. And sometimes I look and say, why are you doing that? Just taste it first and then. Because sometimes into some type of protein, there is natural salts. Sardines, anchovies, whatever. But there is a replacement. So when you're looking for salts, make sure you use good quality salt. You can use a simple kosher salt. Don't use any iodized salts. They're not good for you, period. Good kosher salt, good finishing salt. Because again, you have another finishing salt. Let's say you now want this piece of meat that you've been craving once a week. Now you use it. Finishing salt, fleur de sel, sea salt, good quality salt. If you want to create a dish, sometimes when you make beans or anything like that, or when you cook beans, one of the things you should not do, for example, when you cook beans at the beginning, especially if they're dry, is put salt in it. Because it actually stops the tenderness process. Okay? So you don't want to put salt in it. So when you boil beans, you don't want to put any salt. So but now you have to compensate that seasoning back. Right? Because you want the seasoning if you make a stew with tomatoes, with vegetable, or whatever you want to do. So what I normally like to do in replacement sometimes of salt is use anchovies, packed anchovies and salt. Maybe a little bit of capers, some aromatic herbs, some good spices.
And if you use those items, make sure you taste your food, because I don't know how many times we've had somebody try and put capers or sardines in something and then season how they would think they would season without tasting it, and it's too much. But we do have videos on this as well, so I'm going to see if I can put that in there, because we have a recipe with the orecchiette that has the anchovies in it.
Yeah.
And we also have a video on salts as well that I can share too.
But my point is this one. Let's think right now. We go back to this beans dish. Okay. So right now we have cooked the beans, and now we're making this base stew with tomatoes, with vegetable, and all that. And then at the end of it, but when we start our base, we put a little bit of anchovies, a fillet of anchovies, and then we finish it with some good quality olive oil. That is your meal. Trust me, you will not need anything else. Okay, so understanding the Mediterranean lifestyle is based on what kind of nutrients also, aside from all the 8 principles, it's understand to discover and to fill that tank with the right nutrients, with the right gasoline, the right petrol, call it whatever you want to do it. Then it allows you to be healthy, feel stronger, clear your mind a little bit more, and be prepared, because honest to God, the stuff we're actually telling you right now, it actually becomes much easier. You know, you planning yourself. Unfortunately, sometimes we plan our life of work, but we don't plan our personal life. It's incredible. So.
Well, there's so much we can get into and talk about on this, but we do have some videos we can share. So if you want to put something in the links below, say something about salt, say something about, we have a pots and pans one, we have some recipes. So if there's something down below that you're interested in doing and learning more about, come on over and check it out. We will be doing some research on products in different areas as well around North America that are going to help with some of this Mediterranean lifestyle from wherever you live. And we can go from there.
So let's have some fun during the holiday. Where are you going now? She's leaving again.
Ciao, everybody.
She's coming and she's going. Bye, everyone. See you next Sunday. Ciao, ciao.